What is up, my dudes? Bombgardener here, and today I've got a kind of cool video. I've wanted to do one of these for so freaking long, but I didn't really have the following to do it. As many of you guys know, we have just hit 75,000 followers on Instagram. Thank you guys so much. I love you all, seriously. I can't thank you enough. The growth has been insane. Like, to get all that in 1 month, I don't know, dude. My mind is absolutely blown. But we hit 75,000 followers on Instagram, and I feel like that was enough to post a little Q&A. So I posted it on the story, and we got quite a few responses. I've wanted to do a Q&A for a really long time, but I just didn't have enough people to ask questions, I guess you could say. So now that I've got you guys following me, I've got quite a few questions to dive into, and I'm definitely looking forward to answering all your all's questions. So the first question is actually going to come from a boy, Grommy Bear, and he asked, if today was your last day, what would you do? And boy, do I have a good answer for that one. So hear me out. This is what we're gonna do. If I know that today is my last day on Earth, I'm gonna hop on the R7. I'm gonna go to the twistiest, greatest, windiest road that I can possibly find. And I'm just gonna absolutely rip this R7 with absolute full disregard for my own well-being. Like, I am just gonna go insanely hard on the bike. Now, like, with reason, like, I'm gonna, you know, I don't want to die as soon as I get out there, but I'm really just gonna push my limits as hard as I possibly can on this bike. And that's what I would do. And, you know, of course, hang out with family and stuff. Yeah, I would definitely totally do that too. Yeah, absolutely. Next question. The next question comes from Logan_Dunk or DUNC_. But he asked, do you plan on doing any big stunt rides or any big rides in general? And actually, I totally do. So I want to go to some big stunt rides. However, I'm not really big into stunting yet. I'm not a big stunt rider yet. I don't know a lot about stunting. I don't know enough to where I would just be out of place if I went to an actual organized huge stunt ride. Now, right now, I do have my stunt bike being built. I'm working on getting my parts in from Impact Tech, and once those come in, I'm going to definitely be taking stunting a lot more serious, and I would definitely be interested in going to some of those big rides. Now, for just big rides in general, I am trying to host a few big rides. On my story, I'm going to start posting whenever I'm hosting a big ride. I'm going to give it like a week advance and just try to get as many people that I can that's local in the area to come out and ride together. But yeah, Logan, I do want to do some big stunt rides. I'd love to go to Lean Back in Chicago, and I do want to do just some big general, just everybody get along and ride. Now, this next question, there's not just one specific person that has asked this. This is a question I get asked multiple times on the daily. I actually just released a full video about it, but it's, what do I think is the best beginner bike? I answered it in that previous video, but I'll give a short explanation, and you guys can go check out the full video after this video. But basically, I don't think there's a specific best beginner bike. I think every rider has different needs and wants and different requirements that they need out of the bike. So if you're a heavier set person or a bigger rider, you're going to need a different beginner bike versus the guy that's 5'2" and 120. I don't know how much 5'2" people weigh. I think everybody has different needs and desires. So I just don't think there's one specific best beginner bike out there. But I will give you some good suggestions. Number one, obviously the Yamaha R7. This is what a bike that I started on. You guys remember, I've only been riding since like January. So I am still a beginner. This is the first bike I ever bought, and it has done me so well. I love this bike, and yeah, I definitely suggest this bike as a good beginner bike. Then we also have the Ninja 400 and 650. Both of those I see as valuable options. I've ridden the Ninja 650. That was a question by someone else. They asked if I had ever ridden the Ninja 650, and I thought it was a good beginner bike. Let me see who actually asked that. All right, Shady, I see you asked that. Yeah, I've ridden the Ninja 650, and I do see that as actually a really good beginner bike. It's going to be a little bit higher up seating versus like an R7. It doesn't really have that sporty stance, but it was a fun bike to ride. It was a really nice break from the R7, to be honest. But if you don't want to go with those three options, then you also have the Aprilia Rs 660, I believe it is. And that's going to be a bike that's pretty comparable to the R7. And I think that's a pretty good option. I'm going to take a quick second. My girlfriend, she actually doesn't know, it's going to be a surprise, but she's been wanting an iPad for a really long time. So I'm going to go into AT&T right now. I'm going to buy her an iPad. And then what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to edit this video in front of her. She's going to hear all this. Hopefully she's paying attention to it. If not, then whatever. And then she's going to be like, what the heck? Where's the iPad? And guess what? It's going to be in the backpack. Big surprise. Sierra, go get in the backpack. You have a new iPad in there. I love you. All right, next question comes from Eagle Scout Joe, and he asks, what state are you in? And I'm in Mexico. All private owned roads in Mexico are the only roads that I ride on. No, I'm in West Virginia. Next question comes from Vibin Moto. Now guys, Vibin has been a follower of the channel for an extremely long time, and he's been one that's just always reached out to me, always talked to me, always checked to see how I'm doing. And I just wanted to give a little extra shout out to him. But he asked when I'm getting the R1, and buddy, you know I can't handle that power right now. You know I'm not at those, I don't have the abilities for that bike yet, but I will get it eventually. Within the next 3 years, we will have an R1. Next question. A lot of people have said, what's your face look like? Face reveal. Face. Guys, it's, all right, I want to post a picture of it now. In 3, 2, 1, bam. That's what I look like. That's totally not a lie. That is exactly what I look like. That's actually me in the picture. It's not even really what I look like. It's actually me in that picture. So yeah, next question. Cincy Moto asked, what go you into vlog? Cincy, I'm sorry, I had to call you out on that typo. I had to say it. But Cincy asked, what got you into vlogging, or I guess moto vlogging, or YouTube, whatever? And I like that question. It's an interesting question. It gives me a good little thing to talk about. So basically what got me into moto vlogging is I knew that I always wanted to do something with social media. So whether it was streaming, which I did the streaming thing for a while, or YouTube or whatever, I just knew that that was something that I always wanted to do. It was always a dream of mine since a kid. I watched so many people growing up, and I knew it was something that I wanted to do. However, I didn't have the niche or the passion to do something. You know, I didn't have a passion on anything to make videos about. So years and years and years ago, I did gaming videos, and they're still up. I'm not telling you what account to go look for, but they are still up because I lost the account information, so I can't delete them. But that was when I still had an extremely squeaky voice. I didn't get a deeper voice until I was like 18 or 19. These videos were whenever I was like 15, 16, somewhere around there. But yeah, I tried the gaming thing on YouTube for a while, and I kind of just got bored with it. It wasn't something I was really passionate about. And then I started streaming, and I was just streaming video games, and I had a really good run with that. It was whenever Warzone came out, and I was just streaming and playing that non-freaking stop. Like absolutely nothing else I did except for go to work, come home, and get on the game and stream. And that was doing really well. Like we were getting a pretty good viewing, but it was just something, again, that I just wasn't super passionate about. We'll reverse a few years. Always growing up, my friends and I have always watched moto vloggers. For example, I've watched Dank Willie for so long. I used to watch Yummy R6 whenever he was posting videos. 6'4" Honda. I've just watched Chase on Two Wheels. I've watched so many people growing up, and I always wanted to get a bike. Never got one because I was always a little bit scared. I would psych myself out, so I never got one, but I always wanted one. And then back in, I think it was November of 2021, and I went to a dealership because whenever I'd want to get a bike, I would just go look at them, and that would kind of just like feed that need, and I would end up just not getting a bike because I would look at prices and everything and whatnot. But I went and looked, and I was just talking to the dealer and whatnot, and then I seen this well, not this specific R7, the other R7, but I seen the R7, and I was like, man, what is that? Because you got to remember, like, I knew nothing about bikes. And he was like, yeah, it's a Yamaha R7, yada yada, these are the specs, blah 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 blah. And I sat on it, I fell in love with it, and I asked him, I was like, man, you know, how much does something like this cost? And he told me the price, and I was like, holy shit, like that's something that I can actually do. So I called the bank and walked out that day with it. They had to stay open a little bit late for me because it was kind of a late deal, and it was November, and here in West Virginia in November it's pretty cold. So I had my buddy come. He was going to ride it to his house, and what's so funny is, you know, he's a little bit more experienced than me. He had like 1 or 2 seasons under his belt before I got mine, so he was a little bit more experienced than me. And I had him come get it because I figured, you know, that would be the safest way, is to have a friend come get it. So he pulls out of the lot, and I'm talking, dude, like brand new 2022 R7. I'm excited as all. Can't wait to get it home, but I'm also like, please nobody hurt my bike, don't scratch it. He pulls out of the dealership and just fishtails because it's a brand new tire, super cold outside. But my heart absolutely sank. But it was the funniest thing ever, and I wish I would have had it on video. But yeah, so I ended up getting the bike, and knowing that I always wanted to do something with YouTube or Twitch or Instagram, TikTok, whatever, I bought the supplies that I needed to start recording, and started recording, and the rest is history, man. and I love it. It's the best decision I've ever made. We've had our downs and we've had plenty of ups, and hopefully we keep going up. That was a really long explanation to your question, but Sensi, I appreciate that question. That was a good question. Next video. Matty04 asked, how old were you when you bought your first bike? I was 24 at the time. I am now 25. My birthday was July 31st. Alex_Prather_XP asked, but like, how have you not died yet? LOL. And Alex, I really don't know. I actually genuinely have no idea. I really don't know how it happened. It's a miracle. Keith Park, he didn't really ask a question, but he did say more willies, and your wish is my command, Keith. That one was for you, Keith. Zico the Better asked, how do I convince my parents to let me get a motorcycle? Zico, I actually did a full video on that as well, if you want to go watch the full video, but I'll try to give you a quick rundown on how to convince your parents. So, depending on how old you are and whatnot, you can start with a dirt bike. A lot of parents are going to be more okay with you getting a dirt bike, and there's plenty of reasons for it. First of all, it's just more commonly accepted and parenting community, or whatever you want to say. It's just what boys get, man. They get dirt bikes, you know what I mean? So I would start off trying to get a dirt bike first, and then just show that you're going to be safe on it and not be an idiot. Once you do that, you get to the age to where you can actually get a street legal bike and you're able to ride on the road. It's going to help your chances, because you've shown, hey, I can have a powerful machine that can do a lot of harm to me, but I can be responsible on it and not be an idiot. But there's going to be some parents where you're just not going to be able to convince them. Maybe they had a family member or a friend or somebody, you know, have a tragic crash on a motorcycle and pass away, and they just don't want to see that happen to you. And you got to kind of understand that it's not them trying to be assholes. It's just that they genuinely care about you, and they never want to see you get hurt. So it's a tough question, and it's a tough thing to do to convince them to let you get a bike, but there are some steps you could do. And like I said, I would depending on how old you are and whatnot, you know, financial situation and whatnot, I would try to get a dirt bike first, or something small, maybe like a Grom, and go from there. Also, take them to the dealership. Let them talk to the motorcycle dealers. Let them talk to the professionals. Let them talk to people that know statistics about crashes and everything, and either it'll scare the shit out of them or it'll make them feel more safe. So yeah, hopefully that answers your question. All right, next question comes from Jack Skills, and Jack Skills asked, when should I start to ride a motorbike, as I'm only 13, nearly 14? Jack, I think now is a perfect time to get into motorcycles or motorbikes or whatever. So what I would do, and this kind of goes back off of the last question, is I would start with a dirt bike. I'd get a dirt bike, because if you start riding a dirt bike, you're going to at least learn how to balance a bike. You're going to learn the shifting, how to clutch, how to shift, how to apply front brake, rear brake, all that. So I would say, honestly, now's a good time. I started riding dirt bikes at around that age as well. Now I did stop riding them for a really long time before I got my bike, but yeah, I think now would be a fantastic time for you to get a bike. Guys, it's about to start pouring the rain here, so it's gonna cut the video a little bit short. I just want to say I really appreciate all the questions you guys asked. There were some good questions, and I hope to do this again in the future. Maybe we'll do like I don't know, some kind of special whenever we hit a certain subscriber count. But yeah, guys, appreciate you all watching the video, and make sure you follow me on Instagram, and I will see you in the next video. Peace out, guys.